Mandarin to the Kiwi kids at Henderson cluster schools, and I had an opportunity to listen to the speech, to listen to Barbara Kindle's speech. She was the former Olympic windsurfing champion, and the key words of her speech, from what I remember now, is hardworking, 勤劳, and balance. So I was truly inspired by her speech, and I couldn't help going to her and ask her to sign her name on this piece of paper. And she wrote, "Follow your passion," on my paper. When she was told I came all the way from China and to teach Kiwi kids Mandarin and to help build a mutual understanding between New Zealand and China. And I believe that these words also reflect her own experience as well. And she wasn't the most talented windsurfing athlete, but she succeeded against the odds. I started to think, what is my passion? And what did I do to follow my passion? I started to look back over my entire life, my childhood, my 19 years of pursuing my academic goals, and my 8 years professional life. I know some of you might have started calculating my age. Well, I'm over 21, and this is not a lie. I always know that I'm quite different with everybody around me. And I'm a Dongxiang girl from a very traditional Muslim family in China, and am one of 6 brothers and sisters. Dongxiang is an ethnic minority living in northwest of China, and the economic base of Dongxiang is agriculture. But the climate is really harsh, so many of them go into business and crafts rather than farming. The statistics show that the Dongxiang have completed only an average 1.1 years of schooling. And this is a problem aggravated by the lack of written language. The girls are not expected to have much education, and they are supposed to get married when they are old enough to look after the family they are about to marry into. So I think there might be nothing wrong with what my people do, but that's just not what I feel like doing. And I spent most of my time studying, reading books that lead me to amazing new world. And I take part in different club activities, and I go to do many different part-time jobs at different educational organizations, and also during all these years, I never met another Dongxiang student who continued all the way through schooling to university. And I never met a Dongxiang woman who was qualified to be a teacher. So from my point of view, I overcame the odds. Yeah. And traditionally, the odds are against Dongxiang women. Even complete middle school is a big achievement. Yeah, and for me, what has enabled me to overcome all those odds are, firstly, a supportive family. And even though my family, they are really traditional, but when it came to the crunch, and they always stand by me every time and be supportive to me. And secondly, and so they always be supportive to me, of me, and they letting me to have the freedom to follow my every dreams. Yeah. And I can still hear now the sound of my relatives and my family acquaintances. They, arguing with my parents that how could they allow me to be such a rebel against our own culture. And secondly, I never doubted my right to education. Thirdly, I think the educational policy of my country maintains that girls have the equal rights to go to school. So when talking about realistically overcoming the odds, and firstly you have to rely on yourself as well, rely on yourself and others as well. So you have to look around you to be aware of all the possibilities, and you start looking for help when closest to your home. No matter whatever I thought about my parents, and they stood by me. And it may be a friend, a teacher, or circumstances. Something you just won't be aware of that can provide help when you need it. So to overcome the odds, for me, that means you have to be aware of what the difficulties really are, and to work around around them with support and determination. Thank you. 谢谢 Toastmaster。